Selection team. My name is Ruth Tilegado, and I'm really excited to be applying again for a second time in a row. I applied last year, but I wasn't selected. And the good thing is, the feedback I got from the selection team was to apply again this year if I was interested, and I'm still very interested in the program. So I'm very glad that I have the opportunity to apply again. So, as a person and as an aspiring leader, I've always known that I wanted my voice to be heard at different levels. And so I didn't just allow that sit with me. At different levels in my life, I have advocated for my voice to be heard on different platforms and at different forums, and I'm really happy that I've been doing that with a lot of joy. In 2020, with the COVID lockdown, I began to see that I actually had a path, like I could actually do well with my voice being heard on, on the online platforms, different platforms that I'm on, like on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and the different platforms online. And I even have a blog that I was writing on. And so I thought that it was an interesting encounter and an interesting journey. And I began to go through a lot of leadership trainings at different levels. That was when I came across in 2022, I came across the School of Politics, Policy and Governance, SPPG, here in Nigeria, and I went through the school for a year. It changed my whole mindset about leadership, about politics, about policy and governance, and I learned a lot and all of that. Then I also went in for a training on politics for women, young women in Nigeria who wanted their voices to be heard. And so I went through that training, and it really opened my mind to, what I can do as a woman in politics and how I can begin to have my voice being heard, how I can begin to advocate for certain things that I want, and all of that. And I discovered that advocacy was like my strongest suit. I love advocacy. I love advocating for a lot of things, especially injustice. I also discovered that I had gone through some form of depression, and so I was able to come out of it, and so I began to speak more about it. I began to educate women around me. In fact, I had quite a number of mentors, young women mentors at some point, who I was mentoring on mental health and how they could become better people, you know in their mental space, and how they could overcome depression and ensure that they don't go into depression. I remember this young lady who was in the university at the time. Now she has graduated. She graduated with very good scores. She was having issues. Has Her mental issues came from the fact that she had a very close friend, and the relationship was breaking up, and she didn't know how to handle that, and that was going to affect her scores in school. I remember I took her on a 3 months journey of helping her to grow through that process and be able to be her own person besides her friend. That was very interesting. I've also been involved as a WIMBIS mentor. WIMBIS is a program known as Women in Business here in Nigeria. It is a very, very big association of different women at different levels in their careers, who come together to ensure that every woman is being heard, to ensure that women at all levels are given the opportunity to be heard and are given the opportunity to be what they want to be. And so I'm also a WIMBY speaker. I've spoken at their programs they organized, and I was a speaker there. I was also a mentor. I mentored a lady for 1 year, a lawyer who was going through a career path that she needed some form of reassurance in what she was doing, and I mentored her for a whole year. I remember that it was very, very fulfilling, and we're still friends. In fact, we kept in touch after then. So I've actually gone through a lot of advocacy and training. I'm actually a public speaker. So I've spoken at different forums. I remember last year I was a speaker at the International Women's Day, where I spoke to law students at the University of Jos on how women have grown from where they were in the 80s to where we are right now, where we can boldly talk about issues without fear or intimidation. So I have actually grown, you know, on this path of leadership, of being a leader that is finding her voice. I make a lot of short videos as well, I post them. I'm invited on different forums, and I speak about the things that I'm passionate about ensuring that women's voices are heard, about ensuring that women live in the best mental space possible in all that they do, and about giving back to the society, no matter how small it is. And so I am looking forward to this program because this program is going to give me an avenue, the global avenue that every leader looks for, the global reach that every leader looks for. I'm hoping that with the opportunity that this fellowship gives me, I would have a larger audience where my voice can be heard, where I can do more advocacy, and where I will be taken seriously. So I'm hoping that I would be selected this time around because this is second time Mr. Cham, right? So I'm hoping that I would be selected this time around, and I will be taking more seriously, given that I'm very invested in these in this application process, and I hope that I will be taking more seriously this time around. Thank you very much, and I look forward to hearing from you. Bye for now.